Increasing consumption of energy is also one of the energy security risks, which doesn't really facilitate the energy situations in the countries that are part of these energy islands. Although the recent economic downturn decreased the energy consumption, especially in the Baltic states, not so much in Spain and Portugal, then the prospects are that the energy consumption is going to increase again, although slightly and in smaller increments than it was predicted earlier, both by the national transmission system operators, which are the institutions that produce forecasts for energy production and energy consumption for years ahead, just to be able to plan what capacity should be in place after some time. So we cannot expect that in general the consumption of energy is going to decrease in either of these energy islands. And last but not least, limited or no energy market is also one thing which hampers development of energy systems. There's very limited. There used to be almost no energy market in the Baltic states. Now it's very limited. The electricity markets in the Baltic states are finally open. Latvia used to be the champion. It opened its electricity market on July 2007. Estonia and Lithuania joined in this year. And now there is a little bit of competition gradually starting to occur in this market, although we still cannot talk about effective energy market in the Baltic states. It's even worse when it comes to natural gas, because the Gazprom has majority stakes in all national all national gas companies in all three Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, together with the German owned and Russian Itera, which is part of Gazprom anyway. So it is Gazprom-dominated natural gas market, and which makes things worse is not only that it is de facto monopolist of transmission, storage, and distribution networks of natural gas. It also has, this situation of monopoly has actually been laid down in agreements with the national governments in the Baltic states, and such agreements foresee that there is a situation of monopoly for these companies until year 2017, if I'm not mistaken, and the natural gas market is anyway not going to be open sooner than 2014, when the alleged and presumed situation of being a new energy market in natural gas within the EU will end. So it's quite a difficult situation in the Baltic states. In the Iberian Peninsula, things are much brighter, especially in terms of natural gas. Because of lack of gas pipelines over the Pyrenees, Spain and Portugal developed, especially the companies in this market, developed capacities to import LNG, or liquefied natural gas, which has helped to develop a really thriving natural gas market where there is real competition. So we can really say that this Iberian energy island is an island. It's technically an island in terms of supplies of natural gas, but the market is there. There are several competing companies for transmission and distribution and storage. So it's slightly different. So to summarize, there are actually we can say there are two kinds of challenges if we take a look at how to avoid situation of energy islands and or to connect them to the rest of the EU. So part of the problem is technical and part of the problem is political, and depending on the geographic position and geopolitical context, technical or political challenges dominate. In the case of the Iberian Peninsula, it's rather technical matters now that dominate the situation, while in the Baltic states, the dependency, the 100% dependency on Russian natural gas makes them particularly vulnerable in terms of being able to bargain on the energy market. There's no actually, Baltic states don't have any levers to be able to bargain energy prices, the natural gas prices with Gazprom, for example. They don't have anything in place and no alternative for gas supplies, for example. So whatever price is called by the Russian Federation or by Gazprom, well, we basically have to accept. So this makes Baltic states especially vulnerable. And this is a situation where political, unfortunately, is interrelated with economic and technical more than in other situations, specifically more than in the Iberian case. So if we take a look at what could be done and should be done, then I drew up kind of a table of a system of various levels and areas of policies that have to be correlated and interrelated closely to be able to overcome these energy island situations. Decisions that have to be done on intra-regional level, on inter-regional level, and on EU level in three main policy areas, which is energy policy, was energy policy, which is selbstverständlich, foreign policy and security policy. Why foreign policy? If energy policy is more about planning the capacities for producing energy and energy storage capacities, and when we speak about natural gas, opening up of energy markets, then foreign policy comes into play when we take a look at, for example, long-term energy resource supply contracts with the main suppliers, also about being able to get support from the rest of the EU countries and colleagues when negotiating energy prices and trying to speak more with a common European voice in external energy relations rather than embrace bilateral relations which tend to divide, which at least so far have tended to divide EU members in various situations. And last but not least, security policy, which is again interrelated with both energy and foreign policy. Energy is about security. Most of the fora nowadays about security and foreign policy and foreign relations at one point or another end up at discussing energy matters. So the closer my idea is, the closer these areas and these levels, inter-regional and EU levels, correlated when planning policy and planning technical solutions, the better for individual member states and for the regions and for the EU, which is looking forward to finally establish a common EU energy market and energy area. After all, energy was one of the main pillars for establishing the European communities many years ago. On this optimistic note, I'm going to end.
Okay, thank you very much.
To ask questions later.
Thank you very much.